Going live. We are live. It's gone? Oh, I see. Oh, so you're doing it separately? Well, I, oh,
Are a very, very bad boy. You are a very, very bad boy.
that is my note to go get on the treadmill. I'm not going to do that right now. So, good evening. We are live in both places. Welcome, YouTube and Facebook, to all kinds of silliness. Let me get here going. Going to let people get in. No idea how many people are going to show up today. There's so much stuff going on today. There really is. There's a whole bunch of Dragon Con stuff. There's the Friends of Filk music circle that started about an hour ago, I think. No, actually, I think it's starting right now. So yeah, there's lots of stuff to be watching. We will be. Hang on, Lizzie wants me here. Make sure. Getting an echo. Well, that was a yes. Cool. Want to make sure that we have the right sound and input. So for those of you who are showing up today and hanging out, thank you so much, because there's a lot of stuff to choose from right now. This will be saved on both Facebook and YouTube. So for those of you who weren't able to watch it live, it's still going to be out there. So Lizzie's going to monitor the chat here before she gets on stage, and then we'll try to look at it after that. But there's a lot of stuff going on. 20 years ago, this weekend, it was actually like 20 years ago, like Wednesday, if you want to look at the actual date, but screw that. It was Sunday of Labor Day. I got back into playing music for the first time in 17 years. Really got back to doing what means something to me. Cool. And Lizzie's making sure that we sound okay, because it's always interesting, because we deal with so many different sorts of inputs on this computer depending on what we're doing, that you never know what's going to happen. And I'm stalling here for a minute just to make sure that, because you never start on time. I mean, even though we are geeks and geeks do start, I have 1 minute. Oh, okay, which means my clock is wrong. My clock says it's 1 minute after 1, but my iPad is always a little eccentric. But anyway, yeah, 20 years, and the last 10 years spent making music with her over there, and she'll be on here in 4 or 5 songs, and we are now live. Okay, so it is now officially time, and I can't see. It looks like we got 8 or 10 people on. I see some comments coming up. Anything? Okay. Anybody have anything to say over there before I get going?
Sounds good. The people are listening. We're happy to be here. Zap, Marie, Jason, Ivy.
Okay. We have a complainy kitty. He is starving and dying. He is wasting away. Yeah, he's down to 12 pounds rather than 12 and a half pounds. Can you hear this? Can you hear him over there? He is complaining about you. What you want? Poor Helvetica. He's got to be part of the show. He's my sweet boy. But anyway, I'm going to play some old songs first. I've been doing these a little bit over the last couple months. I actually played a solo show on one of the festivals of the living rooms, and we'll see how much voice I've got. We'll see how much energy I've got. We got a lot of songs planned out here. And if you have any comments, throw them in, and we may try to answer them. We may not, depending on. I'm a little nervous about this one, to be honest with you. So this is the oldest song of mine that I still do, that I still, feel has any real relevance. There's a lot of really angsty stuff that I wrote, and this is definitely one of them. But this is a song about every place that I lived when I was a kid has been torn down. The 2 houses in Glenville, West Virginia, where I'm originally from, One was a house, which is now part of a bypass. One was a trailer, which still may be in some, backyard somewhere being used as a chicken coop, but I doubt if it's being used for human habitation if it still exists. The house in upstate New York is part of a freeway. The house in Pittsburgh is part of a freeway. The two places that I lived in Des Moines are both parking lots. Every place I lived has to do with cars now. I'm not sure why. Maybe I should write a song about that. But the night before my childhood home was torn down, I crawled in through a window and walked around one last time, and this is what came out of it. Don't go home, don't you cry. There's too many ways to say goodbye. The floors are gone and the walls are cracked. Think of all the things we lacked. Don't go home, 'cause it won't be there. There's too many ways to say goodbye. Don't go home, 'cause it won't be there. It takes a lot to make you cry. Out of the streets, without a name. Sorry you left, but glad you came. You're too old, but how you grow. Anybody tell you can't go home? Don't go home, 'cause it won't be there. There's too many ways to say goodbye. Don't go home, 'cause it won't be there. It takes a lot to make you cry. Like a mother without a home, nowhere else for you to go. The floors are cracked and the walls are stone. Didn't anybody tell you can't go home? Don't go home, 'cause it won't be there. There's too many ways to say goodbye. Don't go home, 'cause it won't be there. It takes a lot to make you cry. Don't go home, 'cause it won't be there. There's too many ways to say goodbye. Don't go home, 'cause it won't be there. It takes a lot to make you cry. Hey. Okay, that's all right. How's the mix? Am I good? Okay, because I can't tell with the guitar. I do have headphones in, so I'm listening to make sure nothing gets distorted. I can't really tell necessarily how the overall mix is. So this song got played on the Dr. Demento show twice. Yeah, twice. Over the course of like 3 years. But that did mean that I did get to play in the Festival of Dementia at MarsCon, and it led to me playing at MarsCon for like 7 or 8 years. So that was fun. And I got to hang out with Dr. D some. I interviewed him once. That was really fun because I didn't want to talk to Dr. Demento. I wanted to talk to Barry Hansen. I wanted to talk to the music freak. I wanted to talk to the guy who was the music pusher in his high school. And I asked him about that. Were you the guy who turned everyone on to new records? He said, I was the DJ at the dances. So that was fun. And then we later talked about Dr. Demento stuff. But I mostly wanted to hear about the guy who was the roadie for Canned Heat and lived with a bunch of them and things like that. That was, I got to find that tape. The tape's upstairs somewhere. But anyway, yeah, this one got played. This is more or less a true story. Like all my songs, more or less a true story. Sometimes less than more, but what do you do? Not too long ago, I had a plan to see the 14 Farewell tour of my favorite band. Kissed my wife and took out the trash. Went to the ATM and grabbed some cash. I thought maybe when I get there I can meet some babe. I can impress her with my middle-aged rage. Closer I got the stadium, what did I see? 10,000 old fat guys, just like me. And I just can't stand it. I want to be young, I want to have lots of hair. Feel real strong, I want to raise my fist. I'm middle-aged rage, I'm gonna bury my bald spot on the edge of this stage. Love this band back then, so I hate to mention it cost $150 for the nosebleed section. Problem with that is for a guy my age, it's so far away I can't see the stage. Glad I got the credit, cause I was in a fix, and a ticket on the floor cost me $406. The band began to play, and the crowd began to fight. They call it a mosh pit, but it looked like a riot. And I just can't stand it. I wanna be young, I wanna have lots of hair, feel real strong, I wanna raise my fist. In a middle-aged rage, I'm gonna bang my ball spot on the edge of this stage. Stuck in the pit, I saw something made me proud. Yeah, a guy in my age came surfing across the crowd. Shoe came untied, I got down on one knee, and some 7-year-old kid kicked the hell out of me. I got home, broken and bloody, yeah, I had a weird time, and I spent lots of money. Woke up next morning with a t-shirt and some pain. Gonna be a couple years. Oh, jeez. Till I do this again. And I just can't stand it. I wanna be young, I wanna have lots of hair, feel real strong, gotta raise my fist. The middle-aged rage, I'm gonna bang my ball spot. Gonna bang my ball spot on the edge of the stage. Ha ha! Oh, that feels good. Getting me warmed up now, because I still got a lot of show left to do. Wrote this next song about several people, and only one of them's actually heard it. Actually, that's not true. Two of them have heard it. I don't know if the second one really knows how much it was about her. But we were with one of them. I was at a party with her up in Minneapolis. Same person for whom who owns the house that influenced the song Critters. Same person, Celia. And we were at a party where the idea was to read a poem, do a little speech, play music, whatever. It was all about what is your art currently. And I was up there, and Celia invited me. I said, okay, I'll go. And I played this song. And her response at the end of the song was to lean out. She was about 3 people down from me. And I made a comment about this song is about somebody in the room, but I'm not going to say who. And she was the only person in the room that I knew. And so, of course, everyone's looking at her. And I finished this song, and she leans out, and she looks at me and goes, they're blue, just like yours. Enough curves make Rubens blush, and a retro sort of style. A raucous laugh, a stop conversation, and a sinister sort of smile. We'd sit in the evening, argue with the TV. You would always win. I still hear you breathe, the way you slept against me, and you'll always be my best friend. Can't recall the color of your eyes, the color of your eyes. I remember when we spoke on the phone, and I told you what I'd done. I could hear your jaw clench and your eyes grow cold, and then you were gone. You always said it was funny, all the ways I found to complicate my life. I'm sitting on the couch, flipping through the channels, and I'm looking, pick a fight. Can't recall the color of your eyes, the color of your eyes. You slapped me and laughed, said quit being silly, grinned and told me to laugh. You make it so hard, what's the point, dear boy, of living in the past? Flip off the TV so I can listen to some music. Put down the remote. Somewhere I can still hear you laughing at me. Still don't get the joke. I can't recall the color of your eyes, color of your eyes. Color of your eyes. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what's going on in the chat over there? And are you looking at the Facebook page at all? Okay. Just seeing what people have to say. Okay, cool. So you can take a quick look at Facebook. Anyway, this one was kind of one of those songs that after a while I couldn't get away with not doing. I think it's the only song of mine, the only funny song of mine that I actually wrote an actual joke in it. I always wrote humor rather than comedy. I was always humorous situations talking about, but very few, jokes. This one definitely ends with a joke, and guitar's a little high. Let's fade that. Let's see here. Where am I? I'm right there. Down just a tiny bit. May have to take me back up once Lizzie's up. She sings louder than I do. But anyway, so yeah, my favorite version of this was at a Capricorn one year, where a certain person in the audience kind of jumped ahead on the final punchline of the joke. She's the only person in the room who hadn't heard the song, and the room exploded, and she was wildly embarrassed. And I still like to remind her of it occasionally. So thank you, Dr. Mary Crowell, for the biggest laugh I think I ever got on stage. Anyway, this is a song about songwriting. Songwriting, this song is paramount. So many different ways to reach my heart. No, it won't take long. I can write the perfect song, just waiting for you to break my heart. How can I miss you if you won't go away? How can I miss you if you won't go away? You're ruining my life. There's songs I need to write. I can't write them if you won't go away. You've always thought, I know you've always thought I thrive on pain. I can't really argue, so I'll say fine. Loveliness of your face needs to send me to a different place. Just need you to drive me out of my mind. How can I miss you if you won't go away? How can I miss you if you won't go? You always treat me with kindness and love. Made such a joy out of my life. If you'd leave me then, like I did the top 10, a song about me get up by my wife. How can I miss you if you won't go away? How can I miss you if you won't go away? You're ruining my life. There's songs I need to write. I can't write them if you won't go away. Now in this last verse I reveal why men write songs. We do it because we're sensitive. We do it because we want to share our feelings. My wife over there is scoffing. Here's the reason. Written all these songs now that you've left me. All these stupid choices that I've made. No, it's a fact. Now I am back to writing songs just trying to get laid. How can I miss you if you won't go away? How can I miss you if you won't go away? You're ruining my life. There's songs I need to write. I can't write them if you won't go away. Ruining my life. There's songs I need to write. I can't write them if you won't go away. Okay, gotta turn the mains down here a little bit. Yeah, I'm also pushing a little hard. Put this over here. So welcome to the lovely Crow and Dove House Studios here. So one of the things that I wanted to do with this, because the original idea was to do it live and do it in Chicago, because that's where a whole lot of a whole lot's happened to me there. That's where I met Lizzie. That's where Toy Boat happened. It's where my first solo shows happened. But the world changed. The idea is that it was going to be me playing solo, Cheshire Moon playing, and then Toy Boat also playing, because awfully important part of my life. But one of the things that I want to do maybe sometime next year is do a show with Toy Boat, Cheshire Moon and Toy Boat, and me learn a bunch of their set and play guitar with them, just so Gundo and I can get on stage and bother each other, and I can reach over and turn him out of tune if he's bothering me too much. Yes, and we will both torture Mike, except I won't be playing drums, so we won't be speeding up. Oh, Kathy won't let us. Kathy would not let us speed up. She would go, oh no, we're having none of that, because Kathy would be in charge. But yeah, I miss playing with Toy Boat, and I've gotten up with him a couple times over the last. It's been 8 years since I left, and I've gotten up with him about half a dozen times here and there, including Mid-American when Tom Boat was playing. I got up and did some backing vocals during Band from Argo. But this is a song. This is the only song that I wrote for the band. I sang a couple, but this is the only one. We were sitting, and they had this music, which was part of our warped version of the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, because we were working on a hard rock version of the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's the same chords, and it then metamorphosed into a Green Day type thing, and then into a kind of 60s garage rock type thing. And I just sat down one day and I went, and I'm sitting there with my laptop in, at Gundo's house. I just start writing, and I just start pounding away, and I wrote this lyric. I wrote the majority of it in about 10 minutes, and I think that shows. I can actually say a lot of the sort of jokes that Lizzie doesn't let me get away with anymore. Lizzie does not let me do the self-deprecation much. But hey, this is my show. And she's nodding. And this is like the only time I think that she will let me do that. Yeah, it's I just asked her to turn on the fan because it's getting a little steamy down here. I'm also wearing my big Ren Fair shirt, which I love this shirt. I do, but it's a little warm. But this is one of the things that I became a fan of quite a while ago is a certain multiple arcade machine emulator, or also known as MAME. Lets me play all my old favorite games, and I'm a big Donkey Kong fan. That gets mentioned several times. Two of my all-time favorite games are mentioned in this: Donkey Kong and Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun is just a blast. I do have that on MAME on my computer upstairs, and Donkey Kong, and a bunch of other stuff. Kangaroo, which I couldn't figure out a way to work kangaroo into it. Just too many syllables. Also, not many people know that game, but I had to work in Tutankhamun because it was up in my top favorites. But I'm now talking too much. Why don't I play some more? When I was a boy, my dad did wrong. He went out and bought a game called Pong. I was hooked, my brain went thud. Little did I know it was an entry-level drug. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Frogger, and Tron. Now I wonder, does anyone remember Tutankhamun? My best fun all seems to happen on MAME. Got a question for you. Would you like to play a game? Play asteroids whenever I'm alone. Spend hours and hours playing Battlezone. Whatever you do, don't let the Red Baron hit you. I got a question. What's the vector, Victor? Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Frogger, and Tron. Now I wonder, and remember Tutankhamun, best fun all seems to happen on MAME. Got a question for you. Would you like to play a game? I'm 61 years old, I got nothing to prove. Got have time to memorize 57 moves. Modern games, put my butt in traction. Hell with modern crap. Give me elevator action. Let me find my breath. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Frogger, and Tron. Now I wonder, does and remember Tutankhamun, best fun all seems to happen on MAME. Question for you, would you like to play a game? I'm 61 years old, I got nothing to prove. Got have time to memorize 57 moves. Modern games, put my butt in traction. Hell with modern crap. Give me elevator action. Let me find my breath. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Frogger, and Tron. Now I wonder, does and remember Tutankhamun, best fun all seems to happen on MAME. Question for you, would you like to play a game? All I really want now are simple pleasures, and thanks to Maine, they're there in bigger measures. Now we're reaching the end of this song. I think you need to know I'm the king of Kong. Watch that documentary, it's great. Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Frogger, and Tron. Now I wonder, does Andrew remember Tutankhamun? Best fun all seems to happen on Maine. Question for you, would you like to play a game? Got a question for you, would you like to play a game? Thank you so much. Okay, enough of me now. I think now is the time to bring my lovely bride up here. Make sure I got the right sound. No, it's this one. Yeah. Also, bring out the oldest instrument that's still part of my set. You might want to turn that. Like,
Yeah.
wait a second, that is not working well. So I think it's only fitting that for this part of the show that we start with the first song that we wrote together. Should be 10 years ago this week.
It's true.
On Friday, I believe.
Yes.
We September 10th, we met at Stroller Fest in Kansas City. No, Stroller Fest was in Boston, right? I don't remember which one's which now.
Stroller Fest was in St. Louis. It was something else. It was called something else in Boston, and then called something else in Seattle.
They have slightly different names depending on, but it was a group of, it was like Alexander James Adams, S.J. Tucker,
Ginger Doss, Becca Kelso, Betsy Titty was there.
Yeah, and it was a wonderful weekend. Heather was there. Heather Dale.
Yes, Heather Dale was there.
It's a wonderful weekend of music, and that's where I'm holding out my hand to you because you were looking the other way. Hi, Hugh.
Hi, sweetie.
That's where we started dating. That's where this all started 10 years ago this week.
10 years.
And we wrote this song on that Saturday. I had this piece of music, brought a bunch of instruments because the idea was we were going to work on music. And
we did.
And we did. About an hour and a half.
What was going on that weekend?
What was going on that weekend? We were we both went into the weekend going, this is nice. Probably won't last a long time, but we'll have a nice time together.
And we both went out of that weekend going, oh my.
Oh yeah. And here we are 10 years later in the little house that we own and our little broadcast studio, and it's been wonderful. It's been a good ride. So this is the first song that we wrote.
Sleepy hours of dawn, they come calling. In the wilds of the wood, they come crawling. Every tree a road, every flower a star. And into the widow's garden they roam. They played with little children's toys beneath a weeping willow with a loving little boy. But now the tree is silent, save just for the wind. But into the widow's garden they roam. Time takes all things on, be they mountain, sea, or storm, and they never are forgotten, no matter what time is worn. For those who live forever have the longest memory, and no matter what time has lost, they still see. One day when the boy was young, there came came a summer squall, and a single fisherman that night never did make it home. His picture fell down from the wall in a pile of shattered glass, and in that moment she knew he was gone. Little boy, he ran away, not believing a single word. He fell into the darkened wood where his little cry was heard. Next morning he awoke among the petals soft and blue. Into the widow's garden he was home. Time takes all things on, be they mountain, sea, or storm, and they never are forgotten, no matter what time is worn. For those that live forever have the longest memory, and no matter what time is lost, they still see. The sea had took her bonny bow, and her little boy had grown. Still the widow keeps her garden where the little blue flowers grow. And every morn between dusk and dawn, upon the creeping dew, into the widow's garden they roam. Time takes all things on, be they mountain, sea, or stone, and they never are forgotten, no matter what time is worn. For those that live forever have the longest memory, and no matter what time has lost, they still see. They still see. Into the widow's garden they roam.
Yes, that's where we started.
But we certainly didn't stop there.
The eternal battle between musician and Stan.
Must not catch the violin on the dress.
No, not a good idea. Second, that sound? So anyway, hi there.
Okay?
More or less, something just fell.
It doesn't matter, it's fine.
Oh, it was the set list that I was about to put down on the floor.
It's on the floor now.
Yeah, just not where. It's not where we can see it.
Yes, well. You're so picky.
Doing all the stuff with the echo all at once.
This is called Persephone. I am the herald of the winter. I am the bringer of springtime. My mother, the goddess of the earth. But o'er the fields I tread, amid the silence of the day, I live in the one place I have a voice. No mistake can be unmade. A curse is only evil if you fear it. So many fear the touch of death, fear the one who walks beside him. Every woman has her secrets. Some are gem and some are stone. Though I'm remembered in the autumn, they only talk about my fall. Fruit pulled from the trees as I was pulled below. But you see, I outgrew the expectations of a world that only sees a fragile flower. Though I cannot forsake my name, I will light the harvest flame. Sometimes the darkest love is sweetest of them all. No mistake can be unmade. A curse is only evil if you fear it. So many fear the touch of death, fear the one who walks beside him. With all growth there is pain, harbinger of ice and flame, and the mercy of the spring. I sleep among the living, I walk among the dead, I live for revels of the seeds of red. The dead bring the flowers of the morning, I plant them in my love's dark meadows. There they grow while I am gone, without as bright as first begun. For this place Apollo's touch will never know. Queen of death's domain, I am consort, halfway between the darkness and the green. For this maiden stands as crone, like a death are all my own, a sweet and stained and fascinating rose. No mistake can be unmade. A curse is only evil if you fear it. So many fear the touch of death, fear the one who walks beside him. Fear the one who walks beside him. Fear the one who walks beside him. And the autumn knows my name.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So what's going on out there? You see here? Just want to know, you know. It's my intense curiosity. Hope you're having fun.
Lots of people are coming over from Facebook because this is the better feed.
Okay, yeah, and
that's typical.
Kind of expected. Glad to see you here. What's that number up there now?
19.
19. Okay, cool. So yeah, and this will be archived. This will be saved.
Yes.
Because we do.
Yes, it's true.
So are you ready to move on?
I am.
Shall we? Yeah, that's right. You got fiddle on this one too.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'll let her talk about this one.
This was an interesting one. Because if you've ever looked at the stories of the Banshee in Ireland, there are two very different perspectives. On the one hand, you have this great yowling thing that heralds death from across the moors. And then you have this spirit who is basically just collecting the dead, very much in the Neil Gaiman's Death kind of way. And I thought to myself, wait a minute. They're both called the Banshee, and the Banshee is supposed to be one entity. What happened here? Maybe it was this.
This great big yowling thing. Now, you've all seen the picture we've been using for this, right?
Shut up. The only thing certain in each life is death, as sure as each heartbeat and every last breath. The cry of the banshee each soul must heed. But who in this world calls for me? Who in this world calls for me? I came to the bedside of a long-suffering child. What I found was a vision, a voice clear and mild. She sang like the river as it flows through the vines. She saw me and asked, is it time? Will you take me instead, leave this child behind? I know that you'll take me well before my time. Whatever it takes, I will go in her place. Without fear, her decision was made. The only thing certain in each life is death, as sure as each heartbeat and every last breath. The cry of the banshee each soul must heed. Who in this world calls for me? Who who in this world calls for me. I've watched o'er this family for thousands of moons, but ne'er have I taken one such as you. I wonder, as I wander, would you stay a while with me before I release you to eternity? She had one condition, her love she would see, but I would not come for him for a half century. She swore she would follow, by my side she would stay, but when I reaped her love, she'd go with him that day. The only thing certain in each life is death, as sure as each heartbeat and every last breath. The cry of the banshee each soul must heed, but who in this world calls for me? Who in this world calls for me? I herald each death, she sang to each soul. She made death complete, and she made each death whole. Her song was of hope, and that death was no end. But I wonder, could I start again? True to my word, on the day that he passed, I brought her to his bedside as he breathed his last. He rose into her arms, but his eyes filled with fear. He knew what I was and why I was here. I joined their hands and I bid them adieu. I could do no less, for I loved her too. I know I am needed, on my path I will stay, but I've sung none but her song since that day. The only thing certain in each life is death, as sure as each heartbeat and every last breath. The song of the banshee I'll fear you'll not need, for one in this world sang for me. One in this world sang for me.
So anyway, from like some of her really early stuff to something that's brand new. Lizzie wrote the words to this, and we've been doing this occasionally at circles. We actually did it last night at the Dragon Con Music Circle.
Yes.
And we need to get a recording of this one sometime really soon.
And pardon me constantly fiddling with my dress. This dress used to fit. It's too big now.
Yeah. We are both smaller people than we were.
We are significantly smaller people than we were at the beginning of the year. And it's just like,
I'm down almost 40 pounds.
I have to take in my costuming. Darn it.
Yeah. So she has a lot of sewing to do.
Mm-hmm. I actually do need the words for this because it's fresh enough that I haven't memorized it yet. I apologize. So many faces miss their voices and their laugh. Safer far away, but it's hard to make it last. Hold each other in our hearts till we get better. For though we are apart, we are together.
We're both messing this up completely.
Yeah, we are, and I don't understand.
I know. I was playing things backwards. I was playing like things like Inside Out. Hi there, brand new song. Let's try this again.
Let's try that again. Miss so many faces, miss their voices and their laugh. Safer far away, but it's hard to make it last. Hold each other in our hearts till we get better. For though we are apart, we are together. Yes, though we are apart, we are together. Finding joy in little things, plant a garden, learn to bake. But making do and mending through isn't all a piece of cake. All around the world this storm will weather. For though we are apart, we are together. Yes, though we are apart, we are together. Together we are hopeful, together we are strong. Together we will make it through even when things go wrong. Together we will find the path that takes us from the dark. We are in this all as one, even if we are apart. Hours online, marking FaceTime, days and weeks roll away. We keep each other safe, but it gets harder every day. Hold each other in our hearts till we get better. For though we are apart, we are together. Yes, though we are apart, we are together. Together we are hopeful, together we are strong. Together we will make it through even when things go wrong. Together we will find the path that takes us from the dark. We are in this all as one, even if we are apart. The world that was is gone, but a new one will arise. With every mask and every task, hand in hand in love and pride. Love of sacrifice, I swear, is not forever. But though we are apart, we are together. Yes, though we are apart, we are together.
I like this song.
Yeah, it's nice.
Now it's time to see if Eric can pull something off.
I have faith in you.
Hands have been doing pretty good today.
Mm-hmm.
Hands have been doing really good today. I got a little lost on Bang My Belt Spot. That's because the rhythm and the guitar have to go just right. And if one of them goes off, it gets really confusing. And it got a little confusing for a minute.
Dorothy, do you say? I know that you don't want to stay, but why go home to a place that makes you cry? And what is home but a place you call your own? Mirrors sometimes lie, but mine can take you past your cyclone sky. Honor all the little girls in the world set up before them. Honor all the fair maids who never told their story. Never settle for silence when there's always another door. Every chance is just a tumble down another rabbit hole. Spinning skies and mirrors, each will carry you away. Each one a new door if you know the words to say. See a place where no one tells you you have to be the same. With a name like yours, it's time you became a hurricane. After all the sitting scarecrows and all the lying lions, after all the faceless men of steel and stone, after all the wicked wizards who swore to take you home, after all the faithless fairies, the sins you need not carry, let them go. Know that if you stumble, you'll get back up again. The only thing you have to fear is failure to begin. I'm only here to tempt you, I won't carry you myself. The choice that you must make is all your own. But either way, you'll still be carried away. Will you finally take command and take both our lives in both our hands? Honor all the little girls of worlds set out before them. Honor all the fair maids not allowed to tell their stories. Never settle for silence, but there's always another door. Every chance is just a tumble, but this time choose your own rabbit hole. Spinning skies and mirrors, each will carry you away. Each one a new door if you know the words to say. See a place where no one tells you you have to be the same. With a name like yours, it's time you became a hurricane. Speaking of hurricanes, not bad.
Not bad at all. That was the one that we were going to practice and we didn't.
Yeah, that was one that we were going to practice and we never did. Oops.
And it turned out okay.
It turned out fine.
I love that song. That's where the big Townsend thing comes out.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I've written one piece of music that is more Townsend than that, but we haven't brought that into the band
Yet.
So, if anybody wants a beautiful old Gibson B25 12 string,
This one is for sale.
this one is for sale. I realized at a certain point that my hands can't handle this big neck anymore. I can do all right with it,
But it's just not ideal.
but if you want a classic 60s sounding great folk 12 string, talk to me, because I'm willing to sell this basically for a reasonable price because I know the instrument that I want to replace it with. and I kind of want to make as much money as I can to buy that outright. I'm going to talk to the local store, but anyone who wants a B25 12 string, talk to me.
Drop a line. You know how to find him.
But this is one of my favorite of our newer songs. I'm trying to do songs that I especially like tonight. That was kind of how I picked the set list, was things that I really, really enjoy. Not doing any of the smaller instrument stuff. We've done those a bunch this summer.
We have.
I would have kind of liked to have done Critters. I would have kind of liked to have done
Calvin's Girl.
Calvin's Girl. Yeah, we do Calvin's Girl a lot.
Hamlin's Bow.
No, the other one. The other Bouzouki song.
Tea and Fireflies.
Tea and Fireflies. But we're not going to do that today. We'll do it probably at the next show. We've got a couple more shows coming. We're playing at the Festival of the Living Rooms next weekend.
This show is actually interestingly monumental. This is show number 201.
Yes, that's right. I forgot to mention that. Our show from our front porch last week ended up being our 200th show. And I think it's only fitting that a celebration of 20 years is the beginning of, a new century, in a way. You were going to say that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, but that's okay. You did.
we do this. Anyone who's spent any time with us knows that we finish each other's sentences. We have one brain, and that started really that first weekend that we spent together. But anyway, this is one of my favorite of the new songs, mostly because it really reminds me musically of some stuff that I loved in the 70s. To me, it has a real Al Stewart vibe, and I love Al Stewart. But anyway.
Down on the shores and the laughter of Selkies, find the hidden pieces of the sea, kept well by sweet Kelpies. It may cost you the voice that you had at 13. It may cost you the fire of the next 10 words you breathe. The price is always high enough to pay without a thought, to touch and see the things you know all men should not. Sisters of the tide are we, bound by sand and salt and sea. Selkie, mermaids, sirens, daughters, keepers of the holy waters, to be had in the bigger cracks of the foggy, broken world, all wrapped up in the tenderness of a savage Selkie girl. There's a place for those who always know the watery way, and never let the rocky road keep them from their play. Find Kelpie girls with sweet black pearls, black sands from Pele's heart, the treasures of sunken pirates, to shells that tell stories for a start. Hold the shell up to your ear and hear a tale of woe. Hear the roar of a kraken's hurricane, or the sigh of a siren's glow. Sisters of the tide are we, bound by sand and salt and sea. Selkie, mermaids, sirens, daughters, keepers of the holy waters, to be had in the bigger cracks of the foggy, broken world, all wrapped up in the tortured vest of a sassy kraken girl. But not all the maids you'll find are here to show their wares. Some are here for other purpose, some fair, some nefarious. So careful not to let your heart be stolen by the sea, and held by hands or woven bands of her daughters that need to feed. Mermaid or a Selkie gone astray, she's not here to make her way, but like the tide at full moon, she'll never stay. Sisters of the world, all wrapped up in the silken scales of a silvery mermaid in pearls.
Why don't you go grab that water there?
Oh, yes.
This is going to grab water while I change guitars again for not quite the last time in the show. 4 guitars, 6 changes. Ain't that typical? Oh, ain't that typical of me? So anyway, hi, how are you? Having a good time? Hope you're having a good time. This is fun. I've been a little nervous about this one all week, just because it's a big thing, and I didn't want to, didn't want to suck, because anyone who knows me knows that anxiety. No, not me, not a bit. Oh, water for me too. It was mostly for you.
You need it too,
Did set that down for next to you.
Thank you.
So it's a little dry down here. We had a scare this morning. We were awakened by our power going off at 8:30 this morning.
Yeah, that was a rude awakening.
It was like, oh dear. So did something this morning that I haven't done in a really long time. So let's just say that the new website, Tie-Dye Eric, the headline banner on it now is way too apt today. I'll let you go look at it, tiedyeeric.com.
Yes.
And figure out exactly what I'm talking about, just to get you to go to the website.
Although it is important, once you see that front banner, you'll understand what my day has been like today.
Yeah. I'm going to move this away for the next couple songs.
Okay. Yeah, probably a good plan. Good plan. This is Ghost Train. When the night is dark and quiet, and the wind blows just right, the crossing at the tracks goes red, and the ground shakes like a leaf on fire. Finding the wayward passing souls, trying to find their place. The ferryman of the river Styx drives a different chariot these days. Wood and water to glass and steel, this old steam engine just won't yield. It's got a job to do, and so it goes. The ferryman keeps us on time, conductor on this one-way line. The oldest of the rivers still will flow, so the ghost train goes. No matter how powerful or how rich the life you lead, by and by we all end up with an aisle or a window seat. 'Cause there's a stop for old time heaven and a stop for Shangri-La, and the Valkyries stand ready at the step for Valhalla. Wood and water to glass and steel, this old steam engine just won't yield. It's got a job to do, and so it goes. The ferryman keeps us on time, conductor on this one-way line. The oldest of the rivers still will flow, so the ghost train goes. When Atropus says another light and lets those scissors snip, your silver ticket comes to be in the ferryman's cool grip. Step aboard your ferry's pain, sit back or go explore. 'Cause the ride that ends a lifetime is a boneyard with 4 on the floor. Wood and water to glass and steel, this old steam engine just won't yield. It's got a job to do, and so it goes. The ferryman keeps us on time, conductor on this one-way line. The oldest of the rivers still will flow, so the ghost train goes. All aboard. Yay, the chat has lit up.
Cool. What's going on?
Lots of people saying favorites. You anxious? No.
Yeah. Who said that? Who said that?
That would be Mike Nixon.
Oh, yeah.
Like you know anything about that, Mike. No, not you.
Poor Mike Nixon. I have treated him so badly over the years.
This is true. This is true.
He came to Demicon mostly just to see me, and also to go to a con that he hadn't been to before. but that's where I first heard him play guitar. And just about 3 months later, Gundu and I informed him that he was a member of Toy Boat. We didn't ask him. We did not inquire whether he'd be interested in being a member of Toy Boat. We simply told him that he was a member of Toy Boat. He was now our lead guitar player. He gave him no choice, because we know if we gave him a choice, he'd find some way to squirrel out of it. And I don't know, 12 or 13 years later, Mike's playing a lot and has written just a ton of songs.
He's written a ton of really cool stuff.
Still waiting for that solo album, Mike.
Yeah, no kidding. That'd be lovely.
I know you've been talking about it. Honestly, some of the demos that you've sent me are better than some people's albums out there. So yeah, just put together a bunch of those demos and put them up on Bandcamp.
Put them on Bandcamp, man.
And I will play them on Philcast.
Yes.
I'm a major Mike Nixon fan. He's one of my favorite songwriters.
He's one of my favorite guitar players.
And as well as being just, one of my best friends.
Yeah, so. He's a super sweet guy.
But yeah, we should move on.
We should.
I don't know how many songs we have left this time, because I lost the set list over there.
That's all right. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah, we got to figure it out. And I've still got a little bit of talking to do. I'm going to do a little bit of dedication later in the show, because there's a lot of people to thank. And I'm going to try to remember it. I will then try to remember on the post that I will do after the show with set list and stuff, and thank just a whole bunch of people, because, and Calibri is not pleased with this situation. He is like, he did not expect to come down here and get picked up. That's our.
He doesn't mind too much.
That's our sweet old grumpy boy. He is a sweetheart. He is old. He is grumpy.
I gotta put you down now.
He has one of the biggest purrs I've ever heard. But anyway, I'm going to move the microphone away from me again. Oh no,
Liquid
I want
cat.
the microphone pointing toward me on this song. Pick the kitty back up. I guess she is singing this next song with a kitty.
With a cat.
Because he just came up and did the hello, love the kitty.
Would we call this a cat mint as opposed to accompaniment?
One of the reasons, see, I'm not playing with Andy Anda anymore.
What?
I'm going to talk about Andy later.
This is called Shadow Moon. The new moon has another phase that's very rare to see. A phase of worlds beyond this are any trapped in your philosophy. And if you might be ready, you may stand and you may see. A shadow moon turn day to dusk, dark disk with silvery. Shadow moon, cast your dark light upon me. Take the sunlight from my side and show me what I need to see. Shadow moon, take what must be cut away. Steal it into your dark moonlight. In your shadow it will stay. You shine too bright without cobalt 14 glasses to see. Until you cast your shadow in sweet totality. Corona color rainbow shining out across the sky. Play across the waking world, we hold your light in silence. Shadow moon, cast your dark light upon me. Take the sunlight from my side and show me what I need to see. Shadow moon, take what must be cut away. Steal it into your dark moonlight. In your shadow it will stay. Moon to burn the candles black. A dozen years till you come back. Another path you'll take, another people you will seek. But your lessons we will take, your vision we will carry. With us onward on our journey, recall the day we touched a shadow moon. Cast your dark light upon me. Take the sunlight from my side and show me what I need to see. Shadow moon, take what must be cut away. Steal it into your dark moonlight. In your shadow it will stay. He is not leaving my lap.
It's okay. You don't have any more fiddle stuff.
I know, which is the only reason why he's still in my lap. The queen would have her head, but she would not have the power. But the queen would keep the crown all the same. Child lighting candles with a touch and a thought, followed as the winds called her name. The courage is dry as the leaves beneath her feet. No princes, just 7 new friends. And they asked if you would wander in this place of winter roses, in a realm your will can bend. For innocence is never white, little witchling. It's black, shining as raven's eyes. White is for fire and red is for sacrifice. And they took her hand and showed her why. The castle is on fire tonight, with no one to rescue. The prince is gone. The mirror is broken, the pieces grow cold, but the fairest one has gone. 7 dwarves, 7 teachers, a glass coffin's just a cage where nothing can heal until it bleeds. 7 voices refuse to keep her tame. A poison apple's just another lie to leave. A mirror left alone in empty chambers, cracked and let a piece fall away. She keeps the shards safe and tucked away beside her nightshade as a legacy that nothing stays the same. The castle is on fire tonight, with no one to rescue. The prince is gone. The mirror is broken, the pieces grow cold, but the fairest one has gone. Can I be a princess when she's living? Can I be a queen when she's dead? But in between, she's just a girl. There's no such thing as just a girl. The castle walls have crumbled, but the garden still lives. And sunset is her favorite harvest time. She tends to the lily and the rose and the bittersweet, but smiles as the belladonna shines. Blackthorn wand in her hand and wolf spade in her hair, for magic is the only love she knows. A pretty poison all her own, and in her wake a rusty throne, for the queen is dead. Long live the snow! The castle is on fire tonight, with no one to rescue. The prince is gone. The mirror is broken, the pieces grow cold, but the fairest one has gone. Yes, the castle is on fire tonight, with no one to rescue. The prince is gone. The mirror is broken, the pieces grow cold. At last, the fairest has won. He finally got fed up.
So thank you for coming out. We have one more song on the set list, though I may do one more after this.
Okay.
Yeah. You're welcome to join in if you want.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I have 2 songs. I'm gonna close with the song that what I used to close with when I was playing solo a long time ago. But anyway, I want to thank just a whole bunch of people who've wandered through this little bit of insanity. Andy Anda, really early on. The Eric and Andy show was always a lot of fun. Got to play with him on my 60th birthday party. We got to play the song that I'll do after this with him for the first time in several years. Everybody in Toy Boat, Gundo, Mike, Jason, Raven, and that stranger who's in there now playing drums. I can't think of her name. The one who writes scurrilous songs. Scurrilous, I tell you. Love you, Kathy. Amy McNally for being part of the ride here and there. To all the people who've given me shows, Toy Boat shows, Cheshire Moon shows, the people who've flown us overseas. who've invited us to take a 3-day drive to Arizona that turned out to be just one of our favorite trips. A couple train trips with the love of my life. A person who I can never thank enough for ruining my act. She took my act away from me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was about done anyway. And thank you for all of you who've been along, however long part of this ride that you've been. I'm hoping another 20 years. I'm hoping I'm being well into my 70s until I get to the point where I really can't do it anymore. So I'm hoping for another 15 to 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 61 now, and I'm having the best time of my life playing music. This has been absolutely the most creative time of my life. At a point when so many people kind of, have quit what they're doing or kind of standing still. I'm trying to keep moving forward all the time, and I've been writing about that and talking about that a lot lately. If you go look at the website, that is the kind of the focus is looking at the past, but it's always about looking forward. I want to keep doing this, for the rest of my life. And hopefully, some of you will come and hang out with us during it as well. So this one is a song that I think is a fitting way to end at least this part of the show.
Definitely.
Why don't you talk about it?
One of those lovely things where I get to write songs about my love. But also, this is a song about evolving. It's a song about the different places in life and the places life can take you and the people and things that you pick up along the way and the things that you have to leave behind. So, a song about moving forward. My desert home deserted me, the place with trees so green till the sun grew cold. Stuck amid the great white winds, they cracked beneath the snow. I needed something stronger, so I sought the waters of the north. Just in time to have my whole world volleyed back and forth. I sought the heart of others, but their eyes were far too cold. And in their winds lay madness songs that I could find alone. The horizon is a kindness only travelers can know. Will you ever be the one to call it home? The revels brought you to me, colors sweet, good company of laughter in those eyes I thought I dreamed of long ago. You sat amid the silence as my battlements wound down. You caught all the pieces before they hit the ground. I sought the heart of others, but their eyes are far too cold. And in their winds lay madness songs that I could find alone. The horizon is a kindness only travelers can know. Will I ever be the one to call it home? Nothing trains and fires blaze, beloved faces, laughter, pain, storms unchained. The years roll on like starlight that the sun cannot assuage. Looking back, the footsteps paired with mine, but not my own. I understand the lesson I've missed for far too long. I'd sought the heart of others, but their eyes were far too cold. Only in yours did I see songs I could not find alone. The horizon is a kindness only travelers can know. Will you ever be the one to call it home? Will you ever be the one to call me home? For I know you are the one that I call home, my home.
Give me a second here to pull up something.
Distracting beast.
Yeah, Cleary's up on one of the knitting shelves now.
Which is next to the cat tree, which I really should have seen as a bad idea.
No, that's fine. He's not going to knock it over.
I'm not worried about him knocking it over. I'm worried about him trying to jump into the rafters.
Oh, yeah, well.
I don't think he's quite that silly.
No.
He's not interested right now. But
He's not. But anyway, thank you for coming out. Just so you know this, CheshireMoon.net. And CheshireMoon.bandcamp.com. All of our music is available up there. CheshireMoon.net. There's a tip jar if you feel like, throwing a little bit of money our way. We could always use it. Everything that we make from the band goes into gear now, and there's some stuff that we want to get so we can start recording.
Yes.
So if you want to throw some stuff there, and ericcoleman.bandcamp.com, all of my albums are up there, and they're all pay what you want. I actually had some people buy a bunch of them on Friday. I actually made more money on Friday than I have the entire time that the Bandcamp page has been up there. That amused me to no end. So yeah, all those songs are up there, and there's some newer stuff. And at some point, I'm going to add. I'm going to see if I can get through this. This used to be the last song I would play on a weekend at a con. It's about 4 friends, all of whom's lives have gone wildly different directions since I wrote this song a really long time ago. All of whom were on my friends page, actually. And I don't think any of them know that I wrote this song and that it involves them. But the artist is out on the West Coast now, running a lot and dealing with horses. The writer is living in his old hometown and still writing. And the person who kind of always stayed home. We've seen him several times in Chicago. And the last one, is sitting here. And his life changed a whole lot. This is called Hides. Hidebound schemes, hide you work for years. Stations come, trains passing by. Structures and plans, building art from nothing. Suitcase packed, trains passing by. Certainly, your solitude, your private jokes and your fantasies, clinging to remembrance, wishing for more days like these. Safe at home, home to hide. windows and walls, train passing by. Room upstairs, solid retreat, windows blacked out, passing face. Certain in solitude, your private jokes and your fantasies bring to remembrance, wishing for more days. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Thank you so much. Lizzie, you have no idea how cool that sounded. See, she can't hear what the pedal's doing because she doesn't have earphones in. I could. That was really cool. Give this neat kind of psychedelic thing. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for, hanging out with us all these years. We got a lot more to do. We almost have 2 albums worth of new material written. I got a couple new things that I need to get better rehearsed and then recorded. Got to get Bear of the County Down out there. I absolutely
need to.
Because it's such a wonderful song.
Thank you, Michael Paracas.
Thank you, Michael Paracas, for giving us the idea and pointing us in the direction of it. It's a really clever, cool idea. So anything going on in the chat before we go? Take a look there and see what people have to say. Because feed the nervous artist's ego.
Jason says, thanks for giving us who are in our 40s hope that we can still create despite not starting early.
Yeah.
Damn right. Act up, do art.
I didn't start playing guitar till I was in my mid-20s.
The effect that was on my pedal is the Mel 9 by Electro-Harmonix. It's the Mellotron emulator.
And it's so cool. We bought it for me because I'm a huge Mellotron fan. I realized that my style didn't fit. I was like, plug the fiddle into that. She's like, that's for you. It says, no, it's for the band. Plug the fiddle into that. And she did, and we're like, ooh, that's on Strength and Fire on
Yes.
52 Songs.
Yes, it is.
And isn't it on one other thing too? Or is it just Strength and Fire?
I know it's on Strength and Fire, but I don't remember.
I
if it's
think
on anything
I think
else.
there's one other one too.
I think
Yeah.
you're right, but I can't remember what
It's
it
a
is.
really, really cool sound. I'm a big Mellotron. I'm a big 70s prog fan, and so the Mellotron is like, part of who I am. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being part of this. There'll be a lot more. We got a show at Festival of the Living Rooms next Saturday, and then we'll be part of Oricon in October. No, we'll be part of Greater Chicago Pagan Pride in October.
And Oricon in November.
And then we'll do a holiday show. Plus, we're doing our usual Wednesday night little short sets, 4 or 5 songs every Wednesday night. Come hang out because those are silly. We also do a lot of new stuff. We do a lot of stuff that we're still learning, still figuring out. So you get a little glimpse into our creative process.
Yes.
Like I said, CheshireMoon.bandcamp.com, EricColeman.bandcamp.com, CheshireMoon.net.
And thank you, Zap. Yes, the donate button is in the lower left of the screen.
Yes. There's a tip button, donate button in the lower left-hand corner on CheshireMoon.net. So help us get new gear. Because everything we have a bunch of new stuff. I showed that picture earlier. The mixer board that I have was bought from one weekend's worth of shows.
Yes.
So we have a really nice little USB mixer, which makes it sound better on this.
Yes, it does.
So that's lovely, and a couple other and some cords and stuff. And
We
just
needed some
odds and ends.
replacement cords because
Yeah.
some things had started to die because cords do.
I need to completely rewire my board. I actually put something new in because I realized that I didn't have a proper echo for Widow's Garden. So I pulled one of my old things out. So yeah, there's a picture up on my Facebook page, and I think I'm gonna get a room going.
Okay, cool.
I think I'm gonna get a Facebook room going here in just a minute. If anyone wants to come hang out, look for it on my Facebook page.
Yes.
And if you are not on Facebook, it can be found on Facebook Messenger if you're out there. So I think I'm gonna get a room going for a little bit so I can chatter at people because I'm all.
He's a little revved up.
Give me about half an hour to wind down talking to people because I miss talking to people after a show. I really miss it. So I'm gonna get that going here in just a minute. We're gonna get things shut down and saved up so this gets kept. Thanks for coming out.